It's hard to imagine that even with all the failures we've seen from Lucasfilm and Disney Star Wars over the past decade plus, that there were still people out there when the Obi-Wan Kenobi series came around that had hope for Star Wars. They were excited to see Ewan McGregor return as Obi-Wan Kenobi, excited to see Hayden Christensen back as Anakin Skywalker, as Darth Vader. But unfortunately for those people, their hope, just like so many other Star Wars fans, was misplaced. Because this is Disney Star Wars, and this is Disney Lucasfilm. And now here we are, just over a year removed from the premiere of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Season 1 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it sounds like that's going to be the only season of this godforsaken series. Because if there were people out there that felt like there was an area of Star Wars that hadn't been bastardized yet, you were in for a rude awakening, because that's exactly what it was. And it showed with the fan base. Despite having a highly rated premiere, they did premiere 3 episodes all at the same time, however, but nonetheless, it was the highest ratings that any Disney Star Wars show had seen to this point. But it fell off at the end. Not just when it comes to the ratings, but also with the fan reaction. People hated this series. They hated what it did to Obi-Wan and to Anakin. They hated the fact that it shoved Reva, this character, into the middle of this story for absolutely no reason. And now the more we hear about it, the more pathetic it sounds. Because apparently, despite bringing back all these actors to these iconic roles, Season 2 is just simply not happening. And this all came into conversation over the last several weeks, specifically with the actress who played young Leia being asked about a Season 2 return. Now, she at least has some sense to realize, you know what, I probably shouldn't be in Season 2. There's probably no place for Leia in Season 2 of the Kenobi series. There was no place for her in Season 1 either, but that's another story. But it really brought back all of the quotes, and one of the things she said was that Ewan really wants to do it, that Ewan McGregor is really dedicated and wants this to happen. But it seems like no one is interested. Deborah Chow, who was very highly acclaimed coming into this and then just delivered an absolute shit show of a series, she said, well, you know, I'd always be open to it, but it doesn't look like there's too much momentum right now. And of course, Queen Kathleen Kennedy herself is really the one at Star Wars Celebration who put ice on this entire thing. Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2 gets official update from Lucasfilm. Quote, that is not in active development, but I never say never, because there's always the possibility. The show is so well received. Well, that's a fucking lie. And Deborah Chow did a spectacular job. Ewan McGregor really wants to do another one. But what have we seen since that point? Everything for Disney Star Wars continues to go downhill. Even The Mandalorian Season 3, the flagship show of Disney+, the ratings cratered in Season 3, and so did the audience response. Even the people that had the slightest glimmer of hope in Disney Star Wars that they could do something, that's pretty much been dashed at this point. The couple people that tuned into Andor really seemed to like it, but unfortunately it just did not get very many eyes on it. Because as we've said over and over again, and like the mainstream media is now finally acknowledging, the Force has left Lucasfilm. We talked about this the other day. This is a mainstream hit piece on Disney Star Wars and Disney Lucasfilm. The Force has left Lucasfilm. What has gone wrong for the studio behind Star Wars and Indiana Jones? How Disney's Bob Iger can salvage his $4 billion investment. And this article lays out a ton of the problems from the very beginning with Disney Star Wars. Now, to be fair, they don't blame Kathleen Kennedy for anything. They say, oh, we think she's still going to be sticking around. She's just going to retool and kind of change the way that she's operating. But she's not the problem there. A lot of people forgetting that's actually what this article says. But nonetheless, a little over a year removed from the disaster that was Obi-Wan Kenobi. And it's kind of embarrassing to see that they brought all these characters back. They cucked them. They embarrassed them. They destroyed lore. They destroyed canon. And they turned so many fans away. And there's not even any interest in a Season 2 of this show, despite the fact that the lead actor, Ewan McGregor, really wants to do it. It's just another sad reality for Disney Lucasfilm. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.